Welcome back, Racing with Jesse Rosinski, episode 68. Sorry, I'm a little late on the release this time, but Ian finally got here. The Outer Bands did last night. My internet went out for some reason because it was only sprinkling, and it's a lot worse now that the internet's working. But we got off, it looked like we're getting off with a lot of rain. The wind's there, but nothing as bad as everyone down there, in Florida and, South Carolina, Wilmington, which is right down the road here in North Carolina. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of damage, especially down in Florida. I know a bunch of them. I know people that don't know how they're getting back to their home because the bridge is down. So lots of prayers and all that out to them. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining why I'm here late. They need all the love that they can get because that one's going to take a long time, to clean up from. And sadly, the numbers and all that are just going to keep getting worse as we go. But I just know that I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us, say that, got all of our love and you're in all of everybody's prayers, at least the decent human beings left here, because I did see a lot of hateful stuff, but no point in getting out to that. There is a bunch of good racing this weekend to come. I mean, F1's finally back. Took them long enough. I don't know how they needed that many weeks off during the summer for a summer break, and then they go a few races and right back to 2 weeks off. I didn't like it personally, but my opinion really doesn't matter to any of them. So, they do what they want. We saw season's end last season, as in, last race of the season, not people getting hurt, eliminated, or any of that, even though we do see that Alex Bowman is out of the car with concussion systems after the wreck at Texas. So, and again, everyone's like, ooh, throwing, you can take a couple days before you feel any of them for anyone. It's ever, had some severe concussions and all that, normal ones. Sometimes it does take a while. So, your best wishes to him. Yeah, speedy but healthy, and long enough recovery because again, those things get old after a while. So I'll get into all the safety stuff and all that later, but we got to get into some racing. And sadly, my boys at American Flat Track, they're off until October 14th and 15th for a double header with the Volusia Finale 1 on the 14th and the Volusia Half Mile 3 on the 15th to end the season at Volusia Speedway Park in Barberville, Florida. I always love the racing there. I've always, been a fan of their stuff there. It sucks to see it end, but it's got to happen, obviously. 2 weeks until that happens. So make sure you guys are ready and looking for it because the races there normally they were good earlier this year. So it should be a good one. Very exciting stuff. And again, championships and all that on the line. I hate to see them go, but the quicker it goes, I guess that I'll try to look on the positive and say the quicker that means it'll be back. So we'll be, even closer. But really good stuff like the racing at Volusia Speedway. We'll see how it ends up. But that's October 14th, 15th. So 2 weeks away. And please really make sure to figure it out where it is and how to watch it because those guys normally kill it there. We have MotoAmerica. The season ended last weekend. Barber Motorsports Park. Never recorded, so I didn't get to see it. Thanks to my DVR. Yeah, good job, Hulu. Can't delete half of it. Half the stuff doesn't record. Good times. But when it does work, it's perfect. But Super Sport, Josh Herron on Ducati won that championship by 106 points. STG Junior Cup, Cody Wyman on a Kawasaki won while tied with Gus Rodeo, but got the tiebreaker. So congratulations to them to come down after that many races to come down tie. That's pretty impressive. The Iwasa Stock 1000, Corey Alexander again on a tiebreaker he had with Hayden Gillum. And again, after that many races, no one can say that isn't impressive that they're tied. But congratulations to Corey on that championship. Rivet Twins Cup, Blake Davis on a Yamaha by 20 points. Mission King of the Baggers, Tyler O'Hara on an Indian by 10 points. Super Hooligan, Tyler O'Hara again on an Indian by 8 points. And then the Medallia Superbikes, Jake Gagne on a Yamaha by 20 points over Perucci. Again, those two guys were right there, very consistent. Gagne was just a little more consistent with, getting wins, but really good, season. So if you get a chance, if anything's running you, find it. Watch that stuff. It's really, they put on some hella good racing on those courses. The red flags kill it, but they make them, they just stop it. So you get to see the whole race. It's hard, you don't get to see anything more than really the super bikes and the King of the Bag was on TV, but even those races are fantastic, good racing throughout. I'd never be able to do it, just like American Flat Track, which makes it even cooler. But congratulations to all of them on their championships, because again, I couldn't do it. And coming down to the wire, I mean, look how many ties we had. How often do we get to talk about anything where there's that many ties? I mean, that's really impressive. So congratulations to all of them. We got the Camping World NHRA Midwest Nationals, a Worldwide Technology Raceway, Madison, Illinois. Only 3 races left after this one. We'll see if it actually, technology actually works with me. And again, I might be a little late for the show next week to recap everything, or I'm going to do a bunch of little ones and see how fast I can upload them from my phone. Because again, I don't know. We're supposed to get a lot of rain, winds here. I hear it beating up on the side of the house right there. So if you're looking for 69 after this, I don't know when it'll be, but I will get to it sooner or later for everybody. But that should be, really good stuff. And again, I love the NHRA, just all the science that goes into how fast they could change things over when bad things happen. Like that's holding onto a rocket, and it's fantastic stuff. Wait till Sunday. If you're, never watched it before, I mean, you could watch on the weekend when they do qualifying, but just wait till Sunday when, the actual event itself is going on, not qualifying. Those guys kill it. Like, it's absolutely nuts. And I enjoy it. I think it's a really cool thing. That's me again, but if you never gave it a chance, do it. You don't know what you're missing. Those guys put on some crazy stuff, especially when they're in Denver, but Mile High Nationals are pretty much a year away again. But to see how much, they have to tweak things because the air is even crazier. But make sure you watch it again. Worldwide Technology Raceway, Madison, Illinois, the NHRA Midwest Nationals. 3 races left. So that one's coming down to the wire for the championship as well. Arca Menards, Hers Snacks 250. I say hers, other people say hairs, whatever. Salem Speedway, Salem, Indiana. It'll be on MAV TV, 1 p.m. On Saturday, it's the second to last race. The Arca West Napa Auto Parts 150, presented by Burco Redwood, All American Speedway in Roseville, California. It's going to be streaming on Flow Racing and airing all the way out on the 10th at 1 p.m. on USA. We all know how big of a fan I am of all of that. I think that's ridiculous, but who am I? I don't make decisions as to why that is so far out. And again, Arca East is done. And another congratulations to Sammy Smith on getting a second straight championship. And they got the Sioux Chief Showdown as well. So congratulations to him. He deserved it. I mean, the way he ran this year, he earned it. So no one can deny any of that. And if they want to, don't listen to them, because they're just terrible, terrible human beings or something of the sort. F1 Singapore GP. Here's the one I'm excited about, just because it's about time. I've never actually got to see the Singapore race. I didn't get to see a lot. Again, I was married for forever. Never got to watch, a lot of racing because, she wanted nothing to do with it. Bored. She liked it, to go to the track live. She was okay with that, but I never got to see a lot of it. So I'm really, really excited to see how the Singapore GP goes at the Marina Bay Street Circuit Sunday, 7:55 a.m. on ESPN. And it should be a really good one. It's really easy to find. And Sky Sports, in their work with, letting it go on ESPN is just phenomenal. Like, you watch their coverage, it's completely different than pretty much anything you'll see here. And I think they really have, a great product altogether. Hell, practice should be on somewhere. I know the first 2 are done, but there should be a rerun on right now, or FP3 in qualifying, tomorrow. Watch that. Like, how they do it. It's fantastic the way they run everything. I'm excited for it. It's their first time there since before COVID. That race was September 22nd, 2019. And no offense to those guys, those results don't matter. And if you look at them, so many people, so many different places, whether they moved up in equipment, moved down in equipment, or on the way out, aren't there at all anymore. None of it matters. So I'm not even going to go over it, because literally a lot has changed in that amount of time, and nothing makes a difference. But free practice 1 from earlier this morning, Lewis Hamilton first, which was great to see. Again, if you've been watching, how bad of a year, it's been. He's made a lot out of not being really fast at all. But it was good to see him, even if it was a practice. Max Verstappen 2nd, Charles Leclerc 3rd, Sergio Perez 4th, George Russell 5th, Carlos Sainz 6th, Russell Ocon 7th, Lance Stroll 8th, Pierre Gasly 9th, and Fernando Alonso getting 10th. It was good to see Sebastian Vettel 11th. Again, I think he won the last time they were there, and he was still driving for a Ferrari, so completely different world. Ricardo was 12th, Mick Schumacher 18th, and then Daniel Ricciardo's teammate Lando Norris, 19th. Then we move on to free practice 2. We got to see a fire there. Thankfully, a driver got out, was okay. But this time, Sainz moved up and was the fastest. Charles Leclerc was second. George Russell third. Max was back in fourth. So I want to see tomorrow if they can hold on to that and keep him back there. I mean, again, still going with him just because keep saying, give me a reason to, and I'll pick against him. No one's giving me a reason to. But Lewis Hamilton in fifth, so it was good to see, just change of pace to see 2 Ferraris first, Max fourth, and Mercedes third and fifth around him, and his teammate Sergio Perez was all the way back at ninth. So it's good to see, that, see how it works out. If he doesn't get the podium, I'm guessing he's still going to be up there. Sorry, it's Max. I'm not voting against him till they make me have a reason. But Ocon was sixth, Valtteri Bottas seventh, so that was good to see. Fernando Alonso eighth, Sergio Perez ninth, Lance Stroll 10th. And this time, Lando Norris was 11th, and teammate Daniel Ricciardo was 18th. Again, I don't know, fuel levels, what they were all trying. A lot of different stuff in there, but that was a big swing. Kevin Magnussen 13th, and then teammate Mick Schumacher 19th, back there. Again, not a good time for him, especially as he was, 18th in practice session 1 to go back to 19th is good, but at least he was Nicholas Latifi. Latifi was last in both sessions, so he has a lot of speed to try to figure out there, and I'm still going with Max again until someone beats him. Not wasting my time picking against him because, when I say beat him, I don't mean like one race. I mean consistently, and no one's been able to figure it out. Some of it was, bad pit strategy. There were some, failures on cars, but otherwise, he's dominated the whole season. So we'll see how it goes. But don't forget, again, Sunday, pretty much 8:00 a.m. on ESPN. And of course, street course under the lights. Like it's really, I'm super stoked for it just to actually finally get to see it because I've always caught bits and pieces. I've never got to see, the whole thing from start to finish live. So really, really, really looking forward to that, which gets us to the NASCAR action, the Talladega Super Speedway. I don't know how to feel about it because we've seen how it's all worked out a lot of the time this year, especially Atlanta and all that. But the Talladega 250, couldn't even get a sponsor. That's kind of scary. But Saturday, 12:30 on FS1. Should be, decent racing. I don't know. If you look at the 2021 results, it pretty much shows exactly what I'm afraid of because listen to these results. Tate Fogelman won, Tyler Hill second, Todd Gilliland third. Not a big shocker, but John Hunter Nemechek fourth, Ryan Truex fifth, Corey Roper sixth, Spencer Boyd seventh, Danny Bowen eighth, Chase Purdy ninth, Keith McGee 10th. Tell me anyone expected to see that or hear any of that. Like, that shows you what these things can do. But Ben Rhodes got a 13th, Crafton was 14th, Chandler Smith 19th, Kraus 20th, Enfinger 21st, Friesen 22nd, Haley 24th, Hosevar 25th, Saint Smith 33rd out of the 40 in the field. And again, it's exactly what you'd expect. It's Talladega. So I don't have any big bold predictions for this one, boys and girls. I'm sorry, ladies and gents. Can't do it. All it takes is one woo, and half the field's gone. But entry list has some good ones in there. Jennifer Jo Cobb trying, to qualify for this race in her 10 truck. If you haven't seen her all, run all the races or even show up, so that's good. Priest is in the 17 again for David Gilliland Racing. Ryan Priest, I watch out for him at least because he knows what he's doing there and he's competent. And I still think he should be in the Cup Series over certain people because he's actually, talented. But no point in getting back into that. Natalie Decker in the 43 for Olivia Morrison. Thank you, NASCAR. Because we saw she was going to do it last time. I had to back out because even though the FDA and everyone else did it, NASCAR needed to do their own investigation for diesel beverages. Go through it all, whatever the word, I can't think of it right now. They needed to go through it and make sure everything was all copacetic and good. And she had to pull out the last second. So it's good to see her in the race and see what she could do. That was the race at Daytona that she had to pull out of. And Parker Kligerman's in the 75 again this weekend. And like I said, right at the bottom, it's Dega, so I got nothing. See how the playoff guys go, because there's people that need good runs, obviously, because they're in the playoffs, but then you can see everybody in the playoffs have a garbage run, get taken out, and it doesn't make a difference. So really just intrigued to see how it plays out with all of that, because, again, it only takes one wrong move. At least Talladega's wider. So there's more room to get out of the way if wrecks happen in certain places, but if it happens also in certain places, doesn't matter. There's nowhere to go. The track closes up. So we'll see how it goes, but really I'm just looking forward to see what Priest can do, Natalie Decker getting a run, and the playoff drivers. Yeah, and thank you to NASCAR for finally approving diesel beverages so she could, run. And it's a new sponsor in there. So, you know, anyone that could bring new sponsorship and new eyes and everything into the sport is a good thing, regardless of what you feel of her. So, take it like that. Don't be a complete douche canoe about it. Because I've seen people say things like, what's the point? When she's bringing new eyeballs and money and sponsors into the sport. That's a good thing for the sport. If you haven't noticed, everyone needs 93 sponsors a year to cover everything. So that's a good thing. Moves on to the Xfinity Series. Sparks 300 Saturday at 4 p.m. on USA. And I must say, please don't let too much stupid happen in the Truck Series. As they're running doubleheader that day, or hell, at that point, even the Xfinity Series, just so they actually get the whole race. And at least this time, they gave it enough time that they should, in that amount of time, be able to get the truck race done. No questions asked. But again, Saturday, 4 p.m. USA. They ran there earlier this year in April, where Noah Gragson got the win. Jeffrey Earnhardt with Larry Mack as his crew chief got a second. That was a hell of a run watching him cut through the field. I don't care who you are. That was amazing. But AJ Allmendinger third, Ryan Sieg fourth, Landon Castle fifth, Anthony Alfredo sixth, Riley Herb seventh, Joe Graff Jr. eighth, Myatt Snyder ninth, and Brett Moffitt got a top 10. Again, there's a lot of, I'm not even going through the rest of it just because so many wrecks and a lot of bad times for playoff drivers. So I'm really, curious to see how everyone bounces back and how the wrecks and the cars, everything goes. But no matter what, we still have to expect the junior motorsports guys because they're always strong to be up there working together, just like the colleague guys. Because no matter what, they feel a little bit off at ovals or this, that, what they're always right there together at plate track. So really excited to see how that all goes. But we do get to see Joey Gase in the 5 this weekend. Trevor Bayne gets another run in the 18. I think he deserves full-time ride in that good equipment. It's just could be me, but I think he's more than earned it. Derek Griffiths in the 26 this week, which would have been Jeffrey Earnhardt to get round 2 and try again, but he is in the race in the 35. And again, I just want to see how the racing is and how the playoff drivers do, because it's Talladega and I'm expecting nothing but chaos. I'll leave it at that. Nothing but chaos is all that I can expect at these tracks. Gets us to the Cup Series Yellowwood 500 Sunday, 2 p.m. on NBC. The rest of the race is going to be on NBC. So hopefully all this weather and lightning, everything stops, because I'm pretty sure NBC has shows that they like to show on Sunday night. So it's kind of hard to show it when the race is going on for 9 years. But from earlier this year in April, Chastain got the win, Austin Dillon second, Kyle Busch third, Larson fourth, Truex fifth, Jones sixth, Elliott seventh, McDowell eighth, Bowman ninth, Harvick 10th. And like I said, Bowman's out with a concussion, so they fit Noah Gragson. He's going to fill in the 48, so we'll see what he can do in that good, really good, equipment. See how it all works out. But I really just go into it looking to see how playoff drivers like Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Blaney, like Byron, now that he got the penalties moved back, like how all of them are going to be able to do, how the tires are, how the, just to see how stupid it all gets and see if another playoff driver gets a win. But again, it's Talladega and the way tires have been going. Like, it's just see how it all works out, how the wrecks work out. It's a much cleaner race, which we could hope for, but the way it's been going this year, I'm not holding my breath. Which again, I like that it's hard for them to drive in a handful, but there's the other side. And the tire thing, I already did the show on it. Go find it. It's a pretty good one too. Like, it explains it all. Like, Goodyear can only do so much. NASCAR won 3 less inches of sidewall, and they're still running as much camber and low air pressures as they want, which means the sidewall, it's just getting mauled on like that level thing, which is why it goes down, because no one's listening. But again, I already got into it. I'll get into it a little bit more, but let's see how the stupid works out. And again, Joey Logano goes into it with a 30-point lead. Chastain second with an up 18, and so on and so forth. And then Byron moves back after all the penalties, for that. And it was forthcoming. I mean, I think they should have been, worse with a lot of other people as well that did stupid things, like Denny with Bowman last year. That's okay. I wish they'd be less pick and choosy about it, but we all do. So, just get him, but you don't get him. It's just dumb for all the times we've seen people legit do dumb stuff after a race and go no, and they done nothing. But again, Denny Hamlin, names like that, you know how they get. But really good stuff, though. Again, congratulations to all the MotoAmerica champions, because I'd never be able to do it. So And to see them get all squirrely, like that's hella good racing. Congratulations to them all and those two guys that won the tiebreakers. That's pretty cool. They had two in one season. It's good to see Lewis Hamilton, fastest in free practice one in Singapore. I don't think it's going to last, sadly. I mean, fifth in FP2. We'll see what tomorrow is because we've seen them have really good Fridays and then suck on Saturday, but then race good. So we'll see how that works out, but I'm still going with Max. Until someone gives me a reason not to, I'm still going with Max. The impacts of the NASCAR guys, the wrecks are very, very real. The concussions are real, but saying it never happened before because they're, the worst car ever for safety. Like we do remember Dale Jr. in the last gen retired because he kept getting concussions. One of those was like a nothing concussion, like he barely hit the wall at all. Do they need to, get more crush panels and areas like that on the car? Yeah, so it's not just like I like that the car you guys can, kaboom, run into each other like that and not blow your whole race out just because you had to brake check someone real quick and light contact blow out a radar. Like no one wanted to see that. I don't like parts flying all over God's creation, but I'd rather, crush panels and stuff in places so the car takes more abuse. You can still build up the bumper. I'm okay with that, up front. So again, they can run to the back of one another without having to worry about blowing radiators because that's ridiculous. But all around, we need to find a way to where, it's a sturdier car, but something, takes the energy of the wreck away from the drivers because they're getting beat up. And we need people like Kevin Harvick. As much as people complain about him, right now he's the perfect guy to be there talking about how, much impact he's taking everyone else's in all these wrecks. And he's, we need people like him to be outspoken, and there's not many of them left. But again, crush areas are needed, but keep the front bumper and all that where it is. They just need to work on other things. Because some of those hits have been catastrophic and they kept going, and I just don't get it. And they also need to fix that damaged vehicle thing. Like if it's a mechanical part, I'm sorry, they shouldn't like have to 8 minutes replace the whole rear end or you're done. I don't care if it's the playoffs or not. If it's mechanical parts like that, that shouldn't matter. They should be able to go to the garage and fix that. They got like pieces flying all over God's creation of the body. I get it because we had a lot of races in years past with tape parts, everything just flying off the cars when they try to tape it back together. If it's mechanical stuff, there shouldn't be an 8 minute clock. Let them go to the back, put on the new part, and go back out because their car's going to be running just as good as it was beforehand. So they'll hit minimum speed. We don't have to worry about sheet metal flying. Like that's really, really dumb. Just like people blaming Goodyear. Thankfully, Chase Elliott, heard Steve Letarte, people finally agree with me. Anyone that listens and watches this, I've been saying all year, that much sidewall turned into that much sidewall. So running the same, low air pressure and all that against what Goodyear wants and all that camber, like put so much extra pressure on the sidewall. Not those speeds. That's why it's blowing apart. I don't see why NASCAR at this time, I don't want them to do it, but can't put it like you have to listen to this. Because then we'll have less tires blowing out because they won't be so way low that they're putting all the pressure on the tinier sidewall. Bigger sidewall, more sidewall, more tire to hold onto it. Littler sidewall, they only have so much. Doesn't take much, but I'm glad to hear people talking about it and that concussion from Bowman. A lot of these hits, tires going out, people in whoosh is out of nowhere. And do something about that, and people will be bitching less if you made the teams actually use their heads and stop going above and beyond what they should. But we'll see how dumb it gets this weekend. Should be good racing. I'm excited about F1. Hopefully you guys are too. Congratulations to all the champions. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please follow along. Yeah. YouTube, Rumble, and Cloud Hub for the videos. Got the Facebook, got Racing Rosinski on Twitter. I'm on Reddit under Jesse Rosinski. Locals, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Good Pods. Good Pods is a good one. Really like what they do there. Castbox, Stitcher, Breaker. Like it's on all kinds of platforms. So please follow along on all of them. I'll try to live tweet during races and all that. Keep all the news posted. But everyone, remember, keep everyone in Florida and everyone else impacted and their loved ones. Everyone knows someone down there that has to be, and don't be dicks that I saw on the internet saying that this was karma. That's what they get. Like that actually makes you a terrible human being. Like legit terrible. And I've known some pretty terrible people. But I'm gonna throw out a video on the TikTok under Jesse Rosinski later for all of them. But send up prayers and love to all of them because they really need it right now. But thanks for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow along. Let me know what you think and share it out for me. And until next time, my friends, enjoy your weekend of racing and peace.